This has been an absolutely brutal day trying to stand out there and wait for this. A nemesis bird is a particular species that no matter what, always seems to elude you. The nemesis bird's status is often accompanied by a lot of fruitless excursions, as well as an endless amount of disappointment. On a trip to the Rio Grande Valley in South Texas, nemesis birds weren't particularly on our mind. On our first day in the valley, we found a variety of interesting species, including many lifers. On day 2, however, we dedicated most of the day to finding a regional rarity, the tropical parula. What we didn't anticipate, however, was that this day would mark the origin story of a nemesis bird that still remains one of the most frustrating we've ever encountered. Hey everyone, it's day 2 and it's another cold and rainy day, but I wanted to give you a view of the backside of the condo that we're staying at. You can actually see the ocean, and when it finally gets sunny out, it's going to be beautiful out here. But we're going to go try to find the tropical parula again. That's our first order of business, and then if we get that, we'll kind of play it by ear. But here, take another look at this cool view. The day before, we concluded our birding efforts trying to find a tropical parula at a place called Laguna Vista, an area with walking trails and bird feeding stations. We thought we may have gotten a quick glimpse of a tropical parula, but without any media of it, and getting only a seconds-long look, we didn't count it. On this day, we arrived earlier, hoping it would increase our odds.
We're back at Laguna Vista. Unfortunately, the weather's kind of the same as it was last time we were here. But we have a lot more time. We're here early in the day, so we're going to check the same spot we think we had the parula at last time, and then probably stake out a blind, but right now it's drizzling and it's still kind of cold.
Yeah, it's unfortunately not any better than yesterday, but I'm hoping that since we have more time today, we can get a good look at this parula.
And we kind of know the area better already too.
I'm also hoping there'll be some other bird species here we didn't see yesterday. Yesterday there was a ton of mockingbirds, there was a kiskadee, and there was a kinglet randomly. So there were a few things. Yeah, there was a hummingbird, but I'm hoping that we get more today even. It's a cool place, but we'll see if the birds are cooperative. We made our way to the blind where the tropical parula was typically seen, ready to hunker down and stake out the blind.
Had some birds come in, but not the parula yet. But it's always nice to see stuff.
We spotted many familiar species, in addition to some South Texas specialty birds that we tallied the day before. One interesting species visiting the feeding station was actually a lifer for me. Just got a lifer buff-bellied hummingbird, so at least one new lifer, and now I want the tropical parula lifer. While the buff-bellied hummingbirds were certainly exciting, the parula still hadn't shown. I decided to check out some of the trails, spotting many northern mockingbirds, as well as a few more species I hadn't seen yet at Laguna Vista. Took a little walk and found another orange-crowned warbler and got curve-billed thrasher, so that's a new bird for this area for me at least, but still no parula showing up yet, and not a whole lot of warblers in general, so we're going to keep trying, but so far not any luck. As we waited, more birds that are considered South Texas specialty species continued to fly in. Some of them included great kiskadees, green jays, and my lifer Altamira oriole. Even though we enjoyed seeing these birds, they still weren't the species we were there to find, and the damp, cold weather was starting to take its toll.
Been out here for over an hour and a half, no sign of the tropical parula today. It is cold, because in the south, it's like, even if the temperature's not as low, it's humid, so you get that, like, it chills you really quick. And it's not very pleasant, so I was hoping the weather would be nicer. But it is warmer here than Wisconsin, so that makes me feel a little better. But there's some other birders hanging out with us. A lady came who works with the trail, or volunteers with the trail, and put out some more foods. There's an orange and some seed. So hopefully that'll bring the bird in. Ryan and I have been taking turns. One of us will stay at the blind, the other will go out and look, which, you know, could present a problem if the bird is in one place and the other one doesn't get to see it. But we cover more ground that way.
We continued taking turns walking and waiting. As time passed, our list of birds seen continued to grow. Some of these birds only made one appearance and then never returned, giving us a little hope that the parula could still show itself. Some different warblers visited the blind in this time too, including orange-crowned, yellow-rumped, and a common yellowthroat, which got us excited for a moment due to its similar-looking plumage. As time ticked away, our optimism started to fade. This has been an absolutely brutal day trying to stand out there and wait for this tropical parula that looks like it is not going to show up. I went back to the car to warm up because I was freezing. We did find a couple of other cool birds though that we didn't have the first time around. I did end up getting 2 lifers today, but still it's just a bummer not to be able to see that bird. And I don't know if it moved on or if it's just hunkering down because of the cold, but we'll keep an eye on the reports and see what happens. I mean, I guess it's possible I could go out there to collect Derek and he could have it, but it's not looking likely. Sadly, the tropical parula never showed itself, and we decided to move on from Laguna Vista for the day.
Well, that was brutal. We spent like 5 hours there. Cold, rainy, windy, and it just never came to the blind. We didn't see it anywhere, so we're going to try a different day, but just rough. Cold? Yeah, it's freezing out here. Well, it's technically not freezing, but being out there for 5 hours makes it rough. Next, we decided to make a stop to try and find Aluminium falcons at a nest box we had checked the day prior. On this unlucky day, our result was exactly the same. Second time trying to look for the falcon, no luck. So this is 2 days, we tried it without seeing it. So I think it's just going to kind of be this type of thing where we go check it out if we're ever passing by and try to see as many different platforms as we can until we find the bird.
Before heading back to our condo in South Padre Island, we decided to check out the nearby South Texas Ecotourism Center, hoping to find some new species. The area proved to be really cool and included a long boardwalk. Here we found a killdeer, a loggerhead shrike, and a merlin. After that, we made our way back to our condo, but not before adding one more species that we didn't have yet for the trip.
Laughing gull, Walmart parking lot.
We ended our second day in South Texas with a total of 47 species for the trip, and I added 2 more species to my life list. While missing on the tropical parula was certainly disappointing, it wouldn't be the last time that we would search for it. Additionally, day 3 in the valley would prove to be absolutely epic. Keep an eye out for that video, and the rest of the videos on our South Texas trip. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Badgerland Birding.